So what's a personal brand? A personal brand is you in the eyes and mind of the beholder, or someone who's, watching you. That doesn't mean that you have to change only the perception of people watching you. You also have to change the perception within yourself, your eyes and mind, because what you think about yourself, what you feel about yourself, how your behavior changes influences other people's response towards you. I've had several leaders who have changed one small thing about their branding, and that has created a huge change in perception. For example, I've had a leader who's very successful in his business. He calls himself the number one person in his business category. And when he was giving people money, or when he had to hand over a check, he just did handing over in their hands. And nothing wrong with that. When you are giving people money or giving them a check, nothing wrong in handing over a check or money in their hands, but a much better way to brand yourself as someone who respects the services of another, especially if it is a educational service, is to put the check or the money in an envelope and hand it over to them with respect. The same way that we exchange cards. When we exchange cards, we stand respectfully and hand it over to people. And that makes a huge difference, especially if you are a leader who's traveling, who meets people from other cultures, and they see that, you follow the norms required according to the cultural diversity in the world, or the cultural sensitivity that the world leader shows. You are then considered among the top people in your profession. So, learning about who you are as a brand, performing well as a brand, showing people that you are a brand that matters, that you respect yourself and others, is paramount when you're building your brand. And when should you actually start building your brand? You should start building your brand once you have understood that this is your USP, and that now you need to move beyond your USP. To build your brand, the number one change that you need to bring about is change your energy. This is a vast topic, but changing your energy, what you can focus on to move from something that you call as very passive energy to something which is positive energy, is we can start by changing the words that we use. It's very difficult for each one of us to become positive thinkers in a day, because controlling our thoughts and regulating our thoughts requires many hours of discipline. But changing the way I speak just requires me to focus on positive words. Positive words carry huge energy, which can influence our thoughts. So, number one, change your energy. Number two, become aware of who you are in the company of others. And becoming aware starts with your body. How is your body positioned? Are you leaning towards people in order to tell them that you're interested in what they are saying? Great response when somebody is talking to you is leaning towards them. So change your body language. And instead of changing everything in your body language, start by leaning towards people, but still maintaining your distance. So don't get into this personal space of another person, but do lean in. That shows great listening. And third way to change your brand is by being totally present. If you want to tell a person that I value your presence, and that you want to say that I'm a leader, be totally present. Give them the space, hold the space for them. And believe me, people will know what a good brand you are the moment you hold space for someone. And holding space means being there 100%. When a large organization like the Indian Aero Show team wanted to invite about 14 countries. Normally, they invite more than 20 to 25 countries to visit the Aero Show. During the pandemic, they've had 14 countries and representatives from 14 countries visiting them. Their senior directors had to create a brand that said India and that India welcomes diverse cultures. So, what we did during the corporate training for them on cultural sensitivity was each of these directors build a brand that says, Welcome to the Indian Aero Show space, welcome to India. And they had to play a host that said that India is open to having countries much diverse than them, visit them, become partners in business. When we say personal branding, it does not mean building collaterals like a visiting card or having a branding logo that talks about you. Personal branding focuses on who you are inside and out. So when I say who you are inside and out, it means your attitude, your values, your behavior has to be aligned to the branding of your organization, but endorsed by your attitude, your values, your behavior, and even your appearance. That's a different thing, but everything endorses personal branding. So when we conduct personal branding sessions, it touches upon in detail about cultural sensitivity. It touches upon topics that talk about business etiquette for organizations that is high on having their people travel or meet customers from other cultures. It's very important that these organizations or these leaders learn about personal branding, because at the end of the day, you want to build and grow your relationships. And why do we need to know about business etiquette? Because we do not want people to go away from the relationship or from not give you an account because they don't agree with the way you interact with them. So, to resolve conflicts or to prevent conflicts from happening, one needs to know what is commonly agreed upon code of conduct through personal branding. So, you have been in this profession for more than 10 years, or you have been running this venture for more than 10 years. And you have been successfully running this venture for 10 years because you had a USP. And what is this USP? It's one line that says, what do you do differently from your competition? So once you have practiced this USP for 10 years, then where do you go? You have to now move to the next step. And the next step is called a personal brand. You create a personal brand for yourself. And you don't have to focus on the USP because now you have gone beyond that. And what is this personal brand? It's an amalgamation of your attitude. It's a amalgamation of your attitude, behavior, values that you practice that people can feel, sense, and also see. So that means a personal brand is who you are in the eyes and minds of the people who are watching you. But that personal branding also has to happen within. You're also watching yourself, you're also judging yourself. We are all visual creatures. So we always pick the most shiniest object. Now that you've heard me speak about what conversations will lead to building a better brand, please do join me in my live session on personal branding.